What's up, YouTube? Pastor Bob. So, hopefully this little trick helps some of you out. I know it's not going to help everybody out. But if you live in an area where it's really dusty and you're constantly cleaning your air cleaner like me and my brother do when we're out here riding. We were talking about it the other day. We said, man, we're constantly, when we're riding in the dust out here, having to take and clean the carburetor, having to take and clean the air cleaner. So when we were riding around the other day, I was noticing how these motors here, these are stage 3 motors, but whether you have a stage 1, or a stage 2 or 3, whatever it may be, your draw is going to be greater, right? So the volume of air that's coming in and being atomized to go inside of your intake from your carburetor, right? There's a lot more draw. And what I mean by draw is the amount of air that's increasing and going into your carburetor. With that, it's easy to suck up the dust coming from the back of your tires, right? When you're driving around. And the same thing goes for mud or whatever. It gets caked on, your air cleaner. Most people, I won't say everybody, but if you're running the aftermarket stage 1 kit that has the, black, blue, red, whatever it is, adapter that goes on the outside of your carburetor, you have this type of air cleaner. So I said, well, we need to lift it up. We have to get it off of there. So that way, it's not going to eliminate all the dust, because if you're riding behind somebody, dust is going to be up in the air anyway. But it will cut down on the amount of times that you have to clean your air cleaner, and the amount of dust that is collecting on the outside of your air cleaner. So a couple of little tips and little tricks. Matter of fact, I'll give you the part number for the hose. There's the part number. I put it on my brother's cart. I don't know if you guys can see it. You can take a good shot of what I came up with for my idea. So, flexible dust collection hose, okay, by PowerTech. I bought it off of Amazon. So, let's get back to the cart. So there's a couple of things here that you're probably going to laugh. I'm sure that you probably got these laying around. You always wondered, what the heck would you save it for? Well, today's the day. Now, the way that I applicated it, maybe everybody's going to be different, but I'm going to show you how I stuck it in there. So I am a firm believer in Loctite PL 3X premium construction adhesive. Okay, these are about $10 a tube. If you want good construction adhesive, this is, I'd have to say, the best that I've ever used in all my years of building houses. And I mean, I'm talking, oh my God, at least 30 years. This is it. Don't get it on your fingers. Don't get it on your clothes, because it ain't coming off easy. I'm telling you that right now. If you want to test the waters, go right ahead, but you better be wearing gloves. If I wear gloves, I'm suggesting that you do. But this is the adhesive that I use, and I'm going to explain the whole process to you. And a cap. Now, everybody has paint caps, right? Laying around. Everybody throws them out. Well, sometimes you can use those paint caps for nifty little tricks, for couplers. And that's what I did. So I took this white cap I had, I drilled out the center, and I put some other holes around the outside as draw holes. Okay? You can see that. And then I took the PL 3X construction adhesive, I put it around the outside, And if you look down in there, you'll see some on the inside down in there. Right around the inside. And I used one of these, well, I don't know where it's at, because I chuck things every so often. But, here it is right here. So I use these Gorilla Grip gloves. They're pretty good. You can get them down at Home Depot. Sometimes they're on sale. I always buy them when they're on sale. And they're good. You know, they got neoprene, and you don't get nothing on you. And that's what I use to spread the adhesive. And you can easily wipe the excess off of the glove and no mess, right? So what I did was I put it around the inside, and then I kind of textured it around the outside, if you look. And all I did was I took the glove and I went bink, 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 bink all around the outside of it to give it some texture. So that way, when I hook this air cleaner up, right? Well, after I clean it. But when I hook this up, the rubber, if you look on the inside, it has this ribbed edge, a little bit of a ribbed edge in there. Some of them do, some of them don't. That way, when I clamp down on it, it clamps down on those little edges, those little ridges, and it ain't going to come off. And so it'll look something like that over the top, right? And then all I have to do is take a couple of zip strips or whatever and tie it up to, you know, whatever you want to fasten it to. You know, I can bring it in here or whatever, and I can fasten it to whatever. And what's happening here is I'm getting it up away from the ground, from sucking all that dust in so fast. It's up here so it'll collect less dust. And it really didn't take much. So what you'll do with this cap is you put it about halfway down in the hose. Now, some of you are going to struggle. You're going to say, I can't get it in there. Well, I couldn't get it in there either. So what you got to do is you take the open end of the cap and you kind of bend it a little bit. And then once you get it down in the hose, you can stick your thumb down on the inside and it'll pop right in there. And it kind of locks right in there. But don't miss the step. Put some kind of a heavy adhesive in there. Alright, and that's why I suggested the PL3X Premium Adhesive Glue. It works great. Once it's in there, it's in there. It ain't coming apart. That's it. Done. Let it dry for about 24 hours. And that way, you know, just do it when you go into bed, or, you know, before you go to bed, or in the evening when you're done, you know, racing around. You put this application together, and that way, next evening, come out, put your air cleaner on it, fasten it down, you're good to go. So it's pretty easy, pretty simple. But make sure that you don't have any really sharp bends. That's why, if you look, I have it coming out and then going up. So it's a more gradual bend. You don't want sharp 90-degree bends, you know, real sharp ones. You want to be able to have that air come down the tube and flow nicely to atomize on the inside of the carburetor properly. If you don't, then you're going to have a draw problem, right? And that you don't want. Now, here's another thing that's going to happen here. All right? It will always get enough volume. Now, another thing that you could do is you can make this a 3-stage air cleaner. So on the outside, if you notice, this is a nylon, right? See this nylon? Oh, this is a nylon. And what I do, I bring you in the shop here and show you what I do. You have to excuse the mess. I was going crazy yesterday doing all kinds of things. Let's see. So, I bought off of, I think it was Temu. I bought a nylon, you know, women's nylons, black nylons. And it's good for many, many, many air cleaners. I think I paid 99 cents for these, right? And it's nylon. It's stretchable. You just cut off a piece, just enough to go over your air cleaners. Doesn't cost that much. You don't have to pay exponential amounts of money for covers and all that other fancy stuff that costs you $10, $15, $20. Everybody's trying to rip you off, and all these different sites. And look, they do it. They want to be your friend one moment, and the next minute they're screwing you, right? Think outside the box. And all I did was cut it. And look, it's a nylon. It goes right over it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Now, when you clean your air cleaner, you're going to want to take the nylon off to clean it. Right? But what this is going to do, this is going to stop a lot of, the heavy stuff. Let me pull this back and I'll show you. It's going to stop a lot of the heavy stuff like mud and everything else from accumulating inside of there. And it's going to reduce the amount of buildup inside of your air cleaner. So it's just another stage to help keep, your carburetor clean. Right? I mean, I'm always thinking outside the box. Now, another thing that you can do is right in here, on the inside, you can put another piece of foam if you wanted to. Okay? Or, as another stage, when you go to put this on, right? When you go to put that on, you can put another piece of nylon, like the end that your toes would be fitting in, right over the top of this, and then place this down on top of it and clamp it down. That will be another stage for your air cleaner, right? If anything gets through. I mean, it's pretty doubtful, but hey, it was $1, right? I mean, what do you want? And that way, you get some extra protection for your carburetor. The thing about dirty air and dirt in general, it's not just that it's going to accumulate in your carburetor and cause carburetor issues, right? It's that when it gets down into your intake, right? Now it can start to accumulate on the inside of your intake valve, right? And then it starts making all kinds of messes and nastiness inside of there. And that's when it's going to get expensive. So, remember, there's 3 things that keep your motor running. Air, fuel, and electricity, right? Those 3 things you got to always pay attention to, and try to put some kind of preventative maintenance checks and services in there and upgrades that are not very expensive. So if you have the stage 1 kit, or you're buying a stage 1 kit and you're thinking about it, this may be something that you want to think about doing. Get your air cleaner up. Okay? That's most important. You won't lose any volume. Actually, you'll have plenty of volume now. Because when you're drawing your air, it's coming right from here, right into the carburetor. Right? Now, you got a different stage going on. You can, like I said, you can put a piece of nylon over the top of this, and then put this down on top of it. So you'll have another stage of, cleaning your air. And then every so often, when you take this off, you take that off, blow it off, right? And if you ever want to clean your tube, then all you got to do is take that clamp off, take it out, wash it out with some soap and water, let it drip dry, over a couple hours it'll dry out. Put it back on, put your nylon back on, put the air cleaner back on, you're good to go. Just, for $20 or $25 or whatever, for the hose, I can't remember what the hose was. I don't know, somewhere between $15 and $20. It's 36 inches long, and I thought that would be perfect. Just perfect. And I'm sure most people have a cap laying around, unless you threw it out in the garbage because you never thought that you'd use it. But you can use it for couplers. And then if you already got a stage 1, you already got this, so you want to clean it out really well. And remember, you clean your air cleaner from the inside out, not the outside in, or you'll start packing it down inside of all of them line filters. So remember that. Always clean it from the inside out. And if you're going to spray it down with carburetor cleaner, right, you want to spray the carburetor cleaner on the inside, all right, outward. And then let it soak up there for about 5 minutes or so. You know, make sure you wear protective gear. You know, everybody's different, but for your own health issues, make sure you wear a mask and some gloves and eye protection. I have to put that out there because, you know, some people don't, you know, pay attention, and they don't understand, and they don't read cans, and they don't understand warnings. So I'm just putting that out there. So spray the inside, clean it out good, let it sit in there for about 5 minutes, and then take some form of air and blow it from the inside out. Blow it out real good. Spend about 5 minutes. Okay? When you're cleaning it. And then just let it sit for a little while. Right? Don't be in a rush. Do this stuff at the end of the day. If you do this stuff, it'll cut down on how many times you have to replace your air cleaner, the maintenance of your carburetor, and the maintenance of your overall engine. Anyways, guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. You know, if it was, please like, share, subscribe. And I'll be coming out with more tips and tricks on your small engines in the future. Alright, guys, take care. God bless. This is Pastor Bob. Have a wonderful day. I'm out of here. See ya.